We have hit a bump in the road. So, have you ever had a change of plans? Well, that's where we're at right now. This market thing, I should have known it's not gonna just go off without a hitch, and we've had a change of plans. But before we get to that, I am going out and feeding the cows, and I have something I really want to show you guys. They're waiting on me. So at this point, I gotta beat them to the gate. It's not that they're hungry, they get fed plenty. In fact, we have it, you know, we've even calculated it to make sure we're feeding them enough, because I mean, it can be a shot in the dark if you don't really know how many animals you have or what the requirements are. It's not that they're hungry. There's still hay and things out here from yesterday. It's just, they know the routine. And so they chase me down to the gate and wait on me. And if I can beat them down here, they're not gonna go anywhere. I can leave the gate open. It's a whole lot easier for me feeding by myself. I can leave it open, just drive in, and then when I'm done, drive out. Because as I'm gonna show you, they're gonna follow this hay. I might have just gave you a glimpse of the surprise. Let's go put this hay out and then I'll show you. So one other reason that they're chasing me like crazy is because if you recall a few videos back, we had a hay test done to tell us what our hay was deficient in. And it came back, our protein was pretty good. It was pretty average, which was good to find out. But our TDN, or our energy that is gonna provide them, was low. Well, we definitely need them to have enough energy because they're burning calories out here just staying warm in the winter. And so we are supplementing, it's called a range cube. It's designed for these mama cows that are out just in the field that have no feeders out here, because we don't have any feeders because they rotate around. You can put it directly on the ground, hence the term range cube. And so they like that. It's giving them what they need, and so that's part of why they're chasing me down. But you have to remember, these are our mama cows and our calves that are not yet weaned. And so these mama cows are not only nursing these babies, a lot of which are about to be weaned, they're also bred back. That's how a cow is designed to do. They come into heat while they're still nursing and will breed back. They will theoretically have a calf every year. And by that, I mean pretty much every 12 months if everything goes perfectly, which a lot of times it doesn't. But you can see they have nutritional needs that have to be met because they're lactating, but they're also growing another life inside of them. So just my little disclaimer on getting your hay test and then finding out what your cows need, and just considering whatever kind of supplementation that you're comfortable with for your program. All right, so I want to show y'all this bit of exciting news. I came out here yesterday too. So if you know, I have 3 milk cows. I dabble in milking and selling raw milk, and I started that just for our family. And honestly, I narrowed it down. I used to have 8. I narrowed it down to my 3 favorites. So I have Butter and Josie up at the house. They're great cows. And then my ultimate favorite is Miracle. and I came out here and let me show you what I found. So Miracle, I knew was gonna be due at the end of this week. She had it a couple days earlier than what I knew when I put her with the bull. And so I looked on a gestation chart, or gestation table they call it. And so honestly, I didn't think she was due for a couple more days. That happens, they can calve a bit early. She did, and she had a little daughter. She had a little heifer calf. She's healthy, she's big, you saw her. And you may be like, okay, what is so special? Why is this cow named Miracle? She has her whole playlist here on YouTube. She almost died having her first calf. We nursed her back to health beyond what was even reasonable for a cow to come back from. When they get down for a certain amount of time, it's almost inevitable that they're not gonna make it. Well, lo and behold, she did, hence her name Miracle. We decided to give her another try here on our farm, and this is my public service announcement to say, if you have a heifer, it's okay to consider giving them a second chance. In fact, it's I would say really good chances that they will have a successful calving the next year if they're a first-time heifer and have trouble. We've had multiple instances of that. One of those is Emily's cow, Lucy. She has been a fantastic cow, but her first calf died, and we had to pull it dead out of her, and that's hard on them. But she came back, and we gave her another try. She's done great. Miracle has never had another problem. She's never even had any more assistance in having her calves. And so anyway, just give those heifers another try if you want to. It's all up to you. It's your operation, but I wouldn't feel bad if you decide to take a chance and give them another try. All right, so back to, we're gonna go up and feed the bulls and steers, shut all these gates behind us, and then I'm gonna take you back to the house and tell you what's going on with this market and just life in general. And we got a whole nother set waiting on me. So I'm gonna go down here and get these fed also. I would encourage you to look at a gestation table for cattle, like I mentioned, or it can be called a gestation chart. It's time in December to put your bulls back in if you want a fall calving season. So we will be doing some swapping around. Here in the next week, we have a round of calves. They have been banded to become steers, the bulls have, and they have had their first round of a blackleg vaccine. That is the only vaccine we give them, but we have had multiple calves die from that, and so that's just a no compromise issue here on our farm. We do give that vaccine. It lives in the soil here, and it's pretty much everywhere in Arkansas. Now, I know other people that chose not to vaccinate and lost their animals, and the thing about it is, it'll hit sometimes your biggest, healthiest looking calves, and not when they're little and tiny. After they've grown a bit, it's devastating to a cattle operation. Not to mention, we have just come to feel like it's not good management for us to ignore it and potentially expose them to that, because it's not a pretty thing if they get it. So they've already had that. We will be getting those calves out. Gonna get Miracle and her calf out. Her calf will get a couple weeks of nursing without us milking her, unless we just need to give her some relief. But we want the calf to get a really good start, get all the colostrum, because we don't milk the colostrum out. And at that time, we'll also put the bulls back in. That'll give us some calving dates. Probably, I'm not looking at it right off the top of my head, but sometime in September, we'll have a calving season start again next year in 2024 by putting the bulls in now. So just figure out what your goals are, and then take that chart and figure out when you want calves, and backtrack when do you need to put bulls in. So if you've been around here a bit, you know, but we are trying to raise a good bit of South Poles. They're a breed that were developed to tolerate the heat and rotational grazing where there's sometimes no shade, and just a grass-based operation basically. Do better on grass, I guess you would say. It doesn't mean you can never feed them any grain if you have nutritional gaps like I was mentioning or whatever. It just means they do good on grass in a grass-based operation. So that is one of our bulls I just showed you. He's registered. And then we got another one if I can find him. He's kind of a little woolly right now. He's got his winter coat on, but he is also registered. And that's one thing that will help you if you're trying to raise a certain breed. Consider a registered bull, because that can improve your operation just overnight when you don't have the money to maybe go get a whole bunch of new cows. Just changing your bull will do a lot. Ooh. Hey, buddy. So we actually found that second one, a friend did actually, and he was at an auction up in Missouri for exotic animals. And like southern Missouri, and I don't know about the rest of Missouri, but I know about southern Missouri, is a hot spot for South Poles. It's because here it's hot in the summer, and so they're just a really good choice for if you're trying to do grass-based in this region and other regions as well. But anyway, he found him at this exotic sale. He looked poor, he was thin, but it was last summer, and I don't know about where you were, but where we are, there was a major drought going on. And so more than likely, and in fact it's what they said at the sale, he was just at a farm that had no grass left, and so he was hungry, he needed some food. And so we brought him here, we pampered him, made sure he had plenty of grass to eat and things, and he just bounced back, and he looks great. He was just like bleh when he got here, and he's got a little bit of a personality now, and he's just turned out really well. So that's my other two milk cows, and they're pretty little babies. One of them had a bull and one had a heifer. However, Butter's heifer was, if you have been around and you watched that video, she had a set of twins. The boy, he was weak when he was born, and he disappeared the first afternoon that he was born. So I'm sure he died somewhere, and we just never could find him. We looked and looked and looked and looked. We did see buzzards a few days later, and so really feel like he just didn't make it, and that happens a lot with twins. Therefore, her little heifer is what they call a free martin. It's when a cow has a bull and a heifer. I'm not going to go into all of it, but basically she will be sterile, and so she will be put into our beef program just like a bull or a steer would. There's no sense in keeping her. She would just be a pet, because she won't ever be able to breed. So out of those three, Miracles is the only one that will probably be put into our program for, you know, staying here. And she'll be a good little heifer because she's half dairy. So that means she'll have beef in her, but she'll have dairy in her to feed a calf really well. So here is the deal. If you remember last video, I told you we went to a Dollar General and we bought out all of their freezers and coolers, and we're gonna put those in our new market. That's still the plan, so just don't misunderstand me when I said news about the market. There's still gonna be a market, but it's gonna take a bit to get a market built and everything up and running here. So in the meantime, and we're working on that as soon as possible, but in the meantime, we were going to make our garage, or at least half of it, a little market. We cleaned it all up. I showed that to you, and we put our essentials back towards the house, and we were going to put up like a curtain, put lights, like string lights in here, make it cute and everything, and have some shelves. And I have made a bunch of stuff to sell in it, all the things, and we were going to plug these in, and we were going to do the market in here for a while, just however long. We've hit a snag. So when we went to get these, let me back up. Before we went to get these, when we were talking about buying them, Ben's number one question was, I need to know that they plug into a normal plug-in. And I'll have to look, I can't remember if that was, he told me at the time I said the correct terms. It was like 115 volt or whatever. So I called at least 2, maybe 3 times, and emailed and said, you know, this is a deal breaker. And we wound up selling some of these to other people, and I don't remember if they asked or if I just volunteered the information that, hey, this is the kind of plug-in they've told me that they are. Well, I knew what brand they were as well, and I looked it up, and it even said that they were the normal 115 volt plug-in, just like you'd plug in anything. So we get there, and we're struggling. I've already told you that story. It was a long, long day. So we were struggling trying to get these things maneuvered out of this full store and loaded. Start with the coolers, and the coolers they were just normal plugs, and we're like, yes, okay, yes, that's awesome. Get to the freezers. There were 5 freezers, 2 of which are sitting in my garage here. And we get to the first one, it's not the right plug-in, and we're like, oh no. And what I mean by that is you go look at like where your dryer plugs into the wall, or a lot of times your cook stove or whatever, that type of plug-in, like a 230, 220, whatever those numbers are, the weird plug. We're like, oh no, I hope it's not all of them. All 5 freezers, wrong plug-in. So Ben gets to looking and takes a picture of this little label, calls some people, and it says on here 115/208 to 230. Well, Ben's no electrician. He's a handy guy, but he said, okay, there's still hope. Maybe it means they could be wired for either, and apparently they're wired for 230. So we decided, I actually called the place, and I'm like, look, I don't know if we're going to be able to use these. Do you want me to just leave these here and you refund me? And they're like, no, absolutely don't leave them there. That store is moving, so Dollar General is giving up the lease. They've got to come out of that building today. Take them home. We'll work on it from there. So that's what I did. Get home, and we decided we really do want these things. Like, they are nice. And if you ever get a chance to get one of them from Dollar General, they're the True brand, True. Really, really expensive, good brand of freezers. They're not like made in China stuff. So we get home and we're like, okay, well, we're just going to call someone and see if they could be rewired. Long story short, did call. They said, no, actually that 115 means there's lights in here. There's seals around the door that actually heat up a bit, that actually keep the doors sealed and everything. There's things in there running off 115, but they are wired for 230, and you're not rewiring them. Only choice is to get an electrician and to get the right, stuff from our breaker box, and I'm no electrician either, so I'm botching this all up, but get the right kind of plug-in over here, basically. So we're on hold. We are gonna try to get a temporary, I believe they called it a meter loop, get it over here to where we can plug these up in the garage, but that is not gonna happen in the next day or two. And then be able to use the same wire. We're going to use enough wire that then when it's time and we're going all the way out behind you guys to the market, that we can reuse that wire, because that wire is expensive. It is not cheap. No part of this electrical stuff is cheap. So that's the plan. We're working on that, but it's not going to happen the next day or two. And that's where you guys come in. I am going to, the things I was going to go ahead and put in the market, because it's going to be a bit, even to have it in the garage, I want to offer to you guys in case you need some last minute Christmas gifts. So I'm going to take you in and show you what I've got. You have no obligation to any of this, obviously, you know that. But if you do want any of it, I promise you guys, as soon as you order, I will try to go to the post office every day between now and, the next week or so you can get these things if they're Christmas gifts or you just want them. I'll try to make a trip up there. It's literally 5 miles away. I'll try to get these mailed out every single day and on the way to you guys. All right, I'm inside. I'm about to get to work. I'm getting a lot of this stuff ready. And if you guys want to order it, it is on our website, vwfamilyfarm.com. Let me show you what I have. I have made soap. This is out of organic coconut oil and olive oil, and then just lye, that as it goes through the saponification process, the lye leaves. So it's basically just those 2 oils. And then I made some tea tree. Tea tree is great for your skin. A lot of people think of it as like something to help acne, which it does, but it also helps eczema. It helps keep your skin clear, even if you have no skin troubles. It's just great all around essential oil for your skin. I have also bars of this soap in lavender. Such a good relaxing scent. Good for a bath at the end of the day, or I just like lavender all the time. Lavender is actually my favorite essential oil scent. So I also have made, I made this for myself, and then it just made so much, I was like, there's no way I'll ever use all this. I took tallow from our grass-fed cows, and then just a small amount of olive oil. The olive oil is just to help it whip into, it's a whipped balm, and then a blend of high quality essential oils from my Young Living essential oils, because this is a face or all over body balm, but I used essential oils that are great for your face to keep you looking youthful. It's good if you are youthful, but also if you are aging a bit and you want something good for your face. So this is tallow balm. This is actually a dupe recipe or duplicate of a pretty popular non-toxic skin company. I'm not going to say who it is, but this is a duplicate of their recipe. And if you got this much, these are 4-ounce jars. If you got this much from them, it would be $90, and this is $20. So this will last you quite a while. Even if you use it for your whole body, it just doesn't take much. It goes a long way. The thing about tallow, why you should use tallow is similar in properties to the cells of your skin. So it's really great for your skin to repair and, like, you know, keep it youthful for wrinkles, all kinds of things. It's just really good. It mimics your skin, and so it soaks in really good. It doesn't leave that greasy, heavy feeling that some moisturizers can, and it's all natural. It's so good for you. So we got that, and then we have got, these are glass jars obviously, but we have got our fall harvest of honey. So this is fresh honey from this fall. We have it in plastic bottles, the squeeze bottles. They're so convenient to squeeze the honey out of. We have it in 1 pound, and we have, I think, 11 2-pounders left. Those are the little bit bigger ones. So here's the deal. I'm going to check out the shipping on our website, but it may charge you kind of an astronomical amount of shipping, because you have to put in there the lowest amount you can put that something weighs is 1 pound. Well, obviously this does not weigh a pound. This does not weigh a pound. So if it charges you, you know, a lot of shipping, like if you were to order several of these and a face balm and maybe even a honey, I could probably get that in a shipping package for about $10. So if you order and it charges you more than that, then shoot me an email and I will refund you all but the $10. As long as I can get it in the shipping envelope, $10 is all you'll pay. So anyway, and our email is vwff@yahoo.com if you need that. These are limited supplies on all of this, but I wanted to put this out there because I'm not going to be able to have the market. I made these for Christmas gifts. So if you need something for like a teacher or a hard to buy for person or a gift exchange or whatever the case may be, these would be perfect. And there's all kinds of stuff on our website as well. T-shirts and hats, if you're interested in those. We have some of each of those left. And if you're interested in having a meat shipment shipped to you, we are still doing that. In fact, I haven't been saying much about that lately. I finally got some additional coolers and boxes. We're going to have boxes with our logo on them. We're really excited about that. We've never had that before. So check all this out. The market will be coming, but I wanted to put this out there in case you guys want some of this in the meantime. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and God bless.